What's good, guys? As most of us already know, Ansu Fati is looking like he's going to become a temporary Brighton and Hove Albion player. Now, throughout the day yesterday, it looked like he was going to be a Tottenham man. And a lot of people were saying that Fati was going to join. He agreed to move. His dad wanted him to stay in Spain. And all of this lovely stuff that you want to be hearing as a Tottenham fan. And it seemed like all they were really doing was sorting out whether there was going to be a option to buy at the end of the loan. And then all of a sudden, in the darkness of the night, Brighton swooped in. De Zerbi said, "You know what, Fatty? You should come true and play for Brighton." And just like that, it was so quick. Before you know it, Fabrizio Romano saying, "Here we go," and here we are. Fatty's going to be joining Brighton on loan. It looks like with no option to buy. How else would the thing gone? The transfer would have gone so smoothly. But literally, for Tottenham, it's kind of just like, as it's been noted many times through these sources, these transfer sources, they were focusing on Brennan Johnson anyways. So surely this means they get Brennan Johnson, right? Surely this means now that they can't fumble the bag on Brennan Johnson, right? And then you hear that, they're quite far apart on valuation. It's nonsense. Anyways, Fatty joining Brighton is probably the best thing for him because, they're playing European football. They're in the Europa League. So they're going to have a lot more games where they're going to need him compared to Tottenham. Tottenham actually have quite a bloated squad already, have a very good front line. Obviously, it's been vastly reduced in quality due to the departure of Harry Kane and him being replaced by Richarlison. But you still got high quality forwards there. And Fatty definitely would have developed a beautiful chemistry with the likes of Madison, Son, and Kulusevski. But instead, he's gone to Brighton and he's going to have to be cooking at the front line with the likes of Karu Matoma, Solly March, Julio Enciso when he comes up for injury, and that guy Wilbs, aka Danny Welbeck, and Evan Ferguson too. So look, it's not bad for him because, as we know, Ansu Fati is a very versatile attacking threat. He can play left wing, right wing, in the middle, up front. It's a fantastic signing for Brighton, and it shows just how far they've come in the blink of an eye in these last 5 years. They've become a top team in this country, and for them to attract a top tier talent like Ansu Fati speaks volumes. Now, as we know, Ansu Fati isn't quite the teenager that burst onto the scene scoring goals for fun, but he's still 20 years old. All right, he as long as he refocuses and tries to get his mind back on track and his form back on track, which I feel like it's possible. It's more than possible. He's been showing good signs in his last season at Barcelona. Then I think he will be fine. He might not be Messi level, but he will be world class for sure. And hopefully, his time at Brighton will help him build along the path to going towards going back to developing the way he should have been developing. But obviously, for Tottenham fans, this is going to hurt because Ansu Fati is a big name when you talk about young talent. And now they kind of have to get Brennan Johnson, who's been reported to be the number one target anyways for the manager and for the board and all that kind of nonsense. So, yeah, you got to say fair play to Brighton. They got a great player that's going to add a lot more force to their attacking line. And yeah, I know a lot of Barca fans are definitely going to be watching Brighton this season. Who would have thought? Obviously, I've already talked about Fati's move, but I haven't talked about Cole Palmer's move. Cole Palmer's joining Chelsea for £40 million. What? Cole Palmer? The one that's played 19 times for Man City in the past, 3 years and scored 0 goals? Okay. Cole Palmer's a baller, innit? He's one of many, many young Man City talents. That's for shizzle. That's for sure. But for Chelsea to pay that much? Boy, man, there really is a premium English talent now, isn't there? Because I'll be real with you, he ain't a £40 million player. But we all know how it is with transfers. It's not the club that pays that determines the fee most of the time. It's usually the club that sells, especially if they don't want to sell. And we know that Man City would have loved to have kept Cole Palmer because it looked like he was on the verge of a breakthrough season, scoring in the Community Shield and in the UEFA Super Cup. That's a talent they probably would have hoped they could develop, especially with the departure of the likes of Gundogan. And it looked like there was going to be, and the injury of Kevin De Bruyne too. And it looked like there was actually going to be a space for him to break in and fit through. Because obviously we're talking about Foden breaking through. And now Cole Palmer could do the same thing. But no. Instead, what we have here is Cole Palmer leaving before he's even completed his breakthrough season to join Chelsea. I did not see this coming. I don't think anyone saw this coming. Cole Palmer's going to be playing for Chelsea. And not just that, they paid a whole fortune for him. This is the kind of money you pay for starting level talent. Not anymore, I guess. No offense to Cole Palmer. Is he starting level talent right now? He almost is. I don't think he's quite there though. But here we are. Oh my days. 40 million. It's crazy, man. Look, I rate him as a footballer though, and I rate his thing. I'm not gonna sit down here and act like he's a dead baller or anything, innit? But I think this is a lot of pressure for a young player to go to a club that are in top. What was I saying? That are in Chelsea's position. You know, their team that's on the rebuild. Maybe it's a good thing because there shouldn't be much pressure, right? Right? I don't know, man. I'm just thinking here. Like, all in all, if you're looking at the player itself and the needs that Chelsea have, it's a good signing because they needed an attacking midfielder. And Chelsea love signing young players now. This is what they do now. This is what is on the agenda when they're signing players. They need to be young. And he ticks all the boxes. On paper, he is actually the ideal target, and that's why Chelsea went for him. But damn, 40 million? Obviously, as we know, Man City are on the verge of signing Mateus Nunes from Wolverhampton Wanderers. This pretty much pays off the whole thing, or pretty much pays almost the whole transfer. They're good. They're chilling. No offense, but Nunes is probably more of a established footballer in the Premier League compared to Cole Palmer. But we all know who has the bigger potential between the two. What I'm saying is it's going to be very fascinating to see how, you know, Cole Palmer gets on and all that kind of stuff. And how he does at Chelsea and wherever he plays. Wherever he plays. I think he will definitely play because of the injuries in Kunku and the fact that Chelsea been searching for a number 10. And that for Poch to play his favoured 4-2-3-1 system. So now that he has the players to do that, let's see what happens. Cole Palmer was technically the final piece because of Nkunku's injury. And now you have someone that's young, has strong potential, and can compete with Nkunku when he comes up from injury for that spot in the 11. I think it's a decent signing. It's just the price, though. I did not see that coming. But this is the reality of the transfer market now. You have to pay these premium fees for any sort of decent level player. You know what I mean? The fact that he costs the same amount as Madison is crazy to me. Madison is way more established and is a better player. Now, potential-wise, we're going back to potential, which is what you're paying for pretty much here with Cole Palmer. Yeah, he has the potential to be definitely on Madison's level, if not higher than that. Even higher than that, potentially. But right now, he's not better than him. But it's okay. Different clubs have different needs, and this is what Chelsea decided they needed. So you got to respect the thing. Anyways, I'm going to end it here. Hope you guys, enjoyed listening to this, and I'll catch you in the next episode.
Mini Laje.